For those who don't know, Trinidad is the larger island of the Caribbean nation Trinidad and Tobago, located just off the coast of South America, near Venezuela. Known for its vibrant culture, steel pan music, carnival, and rich folklore, the island is filled with stories passed down through generations' tales meant to warn, frighten, and teach. In Trinidad and Tobago's folklore, there is a figure feared by travelers and whispered about in villages La Diablesse, or how the locals pronounce it, La Diablesse. She is said to be a beautiful woman dressed in a long gown and a wide-brimmed hat, her face hidden in shadows. Men who see her often can't resist her charm. But beneath her dress, she hides a secret. One of her feet is a cloven hoof. They say she lures men into forests, graveyards, or endless roads where they lose their minds or never return. Manzanilla lies along the eastern coast of Trinidad, a stretch of road that feels unending. On one side, the Atlantic Ocean pounds against the shore, and on the other, a wall of coconut trees stretches for miles. By day, it's beautiful, and a long drive shaded by green palms, with sea breeze in the air. But at night, it's another world. The road is pitch black. There are no streetlights, just the sound of waves crashing in the dark, the rustle of bush, and the uneasy feeling that something could step out of the shadows at any moment. Taxi drivers knew that road well. Some worked it late at night, carrying passengers from Sangre Grande down to Mayaro or the villages further south. Most would tell you it's not a place to linger after midnight. I have been a taxi driver most of my life. Growing up, my parents filled my head with stories about Trinidad folklore, sukuyan, duendes, jumbies, but the one that always stayed with me was the tale of the La Diablesse. Men who saw her could not resist following. Those were just bedtime stories to keep children off the streets at night. When I started driving taxi, I made friends with another driver named Kenrick. We used to hang out, or as us locals call it, lime, after shifts, grab a beer, talk about runs. Now, if you're from Mayaro or the East Coast, you can't really avoid the Manzanilla stretch. That road is the main lifeline, the fastest way north. Everybody has to use it, but at night, it's different. The stretch is lonely. No lights, just the ocean on one side and endless coconut trees on the other. Floods come easy when rain falls. People say it feels like the kind of place spirits would walk. Most drivers I knew tried to finish their runs before midnight, but not Kenrick. He would take passengers through that stretch at any hour, even 2 or 3 in the morning. He never seemed to mind the silence, or the darkness, or the stories people whispered about that road. He told me once, laughing, "Ghost can't stop an engine." I wish he was right. One night, I was following behind Kenrick's maxi. We had just finished a drop. His vehicle was empty. Mine was too. We were heading back along the Manzanilla stretch. The road was pitch black. No streetlights, no other cars. Only the glow of my headlights cutting into the dark and catching the line of coconut trees on either side. To the left, the sea roared. I couldn't see the waves, but I could hear them, heavy and restless. To the right, the bush was thick and endless. Insects and night birds filled the air, but even their sounds seemed distant. That road is long, straight, empty. After midnight, it feels like it goes on forever. I kept my eyes on Kenrick's taillights, glowing red ahead of me, a steady dot in the dark. Then, without warning, his brake lights flared. He slowed down and pulled off to the side. I eased off the gas, wondering what happened. Maybe a flat, or maybe he needed to check something. But then I saw it, a figure at the edge of the road, a woman. She stood completely still, under the shadows of the coconut trees. Her long dress touched the ground, pale in the moonlight. Her face was hidden under a wide-brimmed hat, tilted low. Kenrick leaned across and said something through his window. She moved forward slowly, calm, her dress swaying, as though the wind followed her alone. Then she climbed into the maxi and closed the door. The vehicle rocked slightly, as if it had accepted her. The brake lights went dark. The maxi rolled forward again like nothing had happened. I followed behind, my hands tight on the wheel. We had just finished a drop. The maxi was empty. Now, it wasn't. The road stretched ahead, silent, endless, only Kenrick's taillights guiding me forward. A few minutes later, he turned off suddenly. A small rum shop, the kind tucked away on the side of the road. I pulled in too, curiosity pulling me harder than sense. Inside, Kenrick sat at a table with the woman. She hadn't taken off her hat. Her dress still covered her feet, completely. She didn't order anything. She just sat there, hands folded, face hidden, but the air around her felt heavy, uncomfortable. People in the bar kept glancing at her, then quickly looking away. Some got up and left without finishing their drinks. I stayed in the corner, watching. Her movements were strange, too slow, too deliberate. Her head tilted in sudden jerks, like she was listening to something no one else could hear. When she smiled, it didn't look right. Her teeth caught the light in a way that made my stomach turn. I told myself it was nothing, just a tired woman on the road. But the thought kept scratching at my mind. Diablesse. I tried to laugh it off. Folklore. Just stories my parents used to tell. But when Kenrick left the bar with her, I couldn't resist. I followed. They walked down a narrow track into the forest. The moonlight caught her dress again, and for just a moment, the fabric shifted. That's when I saw it. Her foot. Not a human foot. A hoof. My blood went cold. I froze where I stood. Then the forest came alive. With sound. Laughter. Deep. Guttural. Echoing all around me. The trees seemed to bend in closer. Shadows flickered in shapes I couldn't recognize. And just when I thought I couldn't breathe another second, then the sounds began. Not footsteps, not voices, something else. A low rumble, like growling, stretched and twisted. The woman laughed. At first it was soft, almost sweet. Then it changed, deep. The kind of sound that didn't just echo, it crawled under your skin. The bush rustled. Branches cracked deeper in the forest, long and crooked, stretching in ways that weren't natural. The smell rolled out next. Strong flowers, then something rotten, like meat left in the sundae. I couldn't take it anymore. My chest was tight, my throat closing. I turned and ran. I ran straight back toward the entrance of the trail, where the light of the bar still glowed faintly in the distance. I stopped just short of the road, trying to catch my breath. My hands shaking, my body weak. Then I heard footsteps. Kenrick. He walked out of the bush slowly, breathing heavy, his chest rising and falling like he had been running for his life. His eyes were massive, wide with terror, staring at nothing. He didn't look at me, didn't say a word. He just walked straight past, climbed into his maxi, and slammed the door. I shouted his name, Kenrick, but he ignored me. He started the engine, pulled onto the road, and drove off into the night. And from the forest behind him, drifting out with the wind, came a laugh, low, cruel, not human. After that night, I did not see Kenrick again. He never came back to the taxi stand. His maxi stopped running. Nobody knew where he lived. Some said maybe he migrated. Others thought he just gave up driving. I never got an answer. Months passed. Then one night, my maxi broke down near the Manzanilla stretch. I had a full load of passengers. Everyone sat quiet inside while I stood on the roadside, trying to figure out what went wrong. That's when I heard it, rustling in the bush. Heavy footsteps. At first, I thought it was some homeless man, maybe a crackhead coming out of the forest. But when he stumbled into the light, my chest went cold. It was Kenrick. His beard was wild, his clothes torn and filthy, his eyes wide, empty, like he hadn't slept in weeks. He staggered toward me, mumbling to himself. Then he shouted, "Give me money, or food, give me." I froze. My passengers watched in silence through the glass. I whispered, "Kenrick, is that you?" He didn't answer. He just stared at me like he had never seen me before. Then he clutched his head, muttering, shouting, begging, all at once. I felt sick. I wanted to reach out, but something in me said, "Stay away." Then he turned and stumbled back into the bush. The darkness swallowed him. I never saw him again. 2 weeks later, word reached me. They found Kenrick. He had taken his own life. To this day, I don't know what I really saw that night. But I know one thing. The law Diablesse doesn't just take your life. She takes your mind first. And whenever I drive through Manzanilla at night, I keep my eyes straight ahead. Because if you ever see a woman in a long dress and wide hat standing alone by the roadside, do not stop. Thank you for watching. Side note, this is a audio story channel. Most images are AI created. If the listeners would prefer to see full movies to the stories, please drop a comment. Like and subscribe, and have a spooky night.